This is my presentation for my bio writing assignment summary. The first thing we talked about in our paper was the 5 themes, and to list those, it is structure to function, an example being how lung cells are very thin, which allow gases to diffuse easily through the cells. Structure directly relates to function. Our second theme is information flow. An example an example is genetic material lays a blueprint for how an organism should look and how they perform. Our third one is pathways that transform energy and matter. An example being living organisms use energy, then react with their environment and maintain homeostasis. The fourth theme is interactions within biological systems. Interactions can be predator-prey situations or competition, predation, or mutualism. Our fifth theme is evolution, and this is when a population evolves from one generation to the next. Thinking about our 5 themes, the recognizing the themes section. Recognizing the themes becomes more and more easy with practice over the course. It has made each theme more apparent. Evolution is the easiest for me to recognize because I have been expected to know what it is for a long time. Starting at a young age, we have been learning about evolution since elementary school. Representation of the themes. The representation of the themes in research is fairly equal, but some are pushed harder than others because they are easier to understand. In some cases, more than one theme can be applied to this situation. Some themes may seem more represented because you recognize one more than the other. So when there is more than one theme per situation, you could recognize one more than the others because you know more about it, or it's easier for you to recognize. What was learned about the themes? I learned how to identify themes and can name examples of them. This will most likely help me in my future science classes when asked about these subjects. Since I'm only a high school student, I will most likely have to take a biology class again in college because my credits might not transfer over, or the school that I'm going to for college might not accept the biology credit I get from COTC. Learning about science. This class was the first time I really had to read in science or about science and news and research on my own time. Reading about science is not something I do in my free time normally. If I ever do, it is usually watching an unsolved mystery that are based on forensics. These are interesting to me because I want to go into forensics. I want to major in it when I go to my 4-year college. I've always had an interest in forensics. I have since 6th grade, and only being a junior in high school, I don't really keep up with the news anyways. The value of these assignments. The most valuable takeaway from these assignments is realizing that I am capable of understanding higher level scientific readings and analysis. I didn't actually understand, or didn't think I knew that I could understand such high levels of reading. I've struggled with reading through most of my educational career. So when we started reading these readings, I didn't realize that I would be able to read them so easily and actually understand what I was reading. I have never had a science class where I actually needed to pick one of the readings and write a paper on it and answer the types of questions I was answering, like for this class. And I found it pretty easy to do when I remembered to do it. If I just sat down and did it, it was much easier than procrastinating and waiting and then having to rush to do it. I think that this will definitely help me when I, like, in a confidence standpoint, when I have to read other papers or analysis of experiments. This should definitely help me a lot. And with all the science classes I'm going to have to take to major in forensics, I think this will really, really help me. And it might even help me in my English standpoint, since I'm not very confident in reading there either. So, I mean, I think that these were valuable to a point. I just wish they were more interesting. Being a high school student, a lot of these topics were just something that I just didn't really care about. I mean, I don't like to put it like that, but I wish we had gotten like better options or something that applied more to our personal lives than what we got. Overall, though, I mean, I think I'll be using a lot of things I learned while doing these assignments. And maybe some not so much, but I think it was really good overall.